What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So this is a video that I had to do over. I had six in particular that I had to redo due to some technical difficulties, and so I'm doing this one over. And I'm going to speak about Jake Paul versus Mike Perry. I spoke about, I had a whole separate video on Amanda Serrano and Alicia Baumgartner. Basically, because this fight that she just had that ended in 2 rounds, let me just say first off, the girl she fought, not to take anything away from Amanda Serrano's performance, because she went in there and got the job done, okay, but this girl that she fought, pretty much, she's not a good fighter at all, by no stretch of the mind. So, salute to Serrano for doing what she had to do. She did what she was supposed to. You can't take anything away from the performance. Okay. Just the same way, I'm not at all comparing this female that she went in there and fought to Alicia Baumgartner. Okay. Now, I said what I had to say in that video. I really don't need to have to say it again, but because I'm talking about Jake Paul, I'm going to, for this reason. First off, now, I've said this a long time ago. I don't think Alicia Baumgartner can handle the work rate of Amanda Serrano. The one Achilles heel that she has is her stamina. She's a pace fighter. She throws pop shots a lot. When she does throw combinations, she empties her tank out. Okay? We've all seen that. Now, she does have power. But if she doesn't knock Amanda Serrano out and she doesn't have the stamina, that's where I see the fight going wrong for her. Now, skill for skill, yeah, she can match Serrano. Yeah, it's not a problem there. The issue is the work rate and her being able to not only be able to fight back, but accurately. Like I said, she'd have to be more accurate, be defensively sound, make Serrano miss and make her pay. She has to hit Serrano with something that's going to make Serrano reluctant to come in. I've already made that clear. So my whole thing is, this fight went 2 rounds with Serrano. So, assuming she can still do the same things, just like, for example, like when we saw Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce could go all night long. Last fight, he looked horrible. And he was dead tired. So you just never know, what's going to happen in the fight. But I feel like between the two, I don't feel like skill-wise, like Serrano is better than Baumgartner. I think, like I said, that work rate, she's a machine. She just keeps going. And I feel like that's where, like I said, the fight will go wrong for Baumgartner against her. Now, again, seeing that how Baumgartner already made it a big deal about trying to go to 12 rounds, like, wow, saying that nobody wants to see women fight for 12 rounds. And then she says, are you paying me for those 12 rounds? It's like, well, Serrano's getting paid for those same 12 rounds. What do you mean? Like, I mean, 10, 12, whatever. This is what warriors do, right? So that means Amanda Serrano could go into a fight with Baumgartner if it was to happen with the psychological edge already. Because she's already, hey, I've done 12 rounds. I'm used to this. And in fact, if you're doing something that you don't really want to do, that could work against you. And it makes me feel like maybe Baumgartner questions her own ability to go 12 rounds. Who knows? Otherwise, hey, like I said, you guys are playing by the same rules in that ring. Now, that being said, once again, I really don't give a shit about people calling themselves the GOAT. I don't care about fans calling the fighter the GOAT. I don't care about I don't care what you say. You can say you're the greatest of all time. You can say you're the greatest human being that ever lived. You can say you're the greatest mom. You're the greatest dad. You're the greatest husband, wife. I really don't give a shit. And I spoke about this in another video, but I'm making this clear. The people that are using this term to address Amanda Serrano is doing nothing but blatantly showing disrespect to Shields just for that reason. And pretty much, like I said, I don't really care. But I understand why they're doing it. And once again, let's just be real. When you're being showing favoritism to your countrymen or someone that, I'm just going to say it like it is, because there's a whole lot of race fans out there. They quick to go put their flag up and make sure that the camera get the flag. They want to salute all the fighters from their country or have a closer skin complexion or whatever it is. But they do these things and they always want to make somebody be that person. But at the same time, like, you know, when you decide you want to call someone something that someone else has actually coined, that this is like, example, Floyd calls himself TBE. So for somebody to come out and say, yo, such and such is the real TBE, it's not that they're saying that because they just feel like this person is really that good or whatever. No, bottom line, it's like, let's try to be disrespectful to that person because he calls himself TBE. That's all that shit is. Like I said in the last video, it doesn't make a difference because if that was a fight that would happen, Shields would beat the fuck out of Amanda Serrano. Bottom line, accomplishments is like this. You see how to this day people love to say, yeah, but Pacquiao was an 8 division, blah, 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 all that, right? They say all that, and it's like, yeah, okay, but he still lost to Floyd when they fought. So if you want to say he made more accomplishments than Floyd in terms of winning more titles in different weight classes, okay. Bottom line, he still can't beat Floyd. So the point is what? So, yeah, okay, fine. Whatever. And bottom line, I don't care if it's Floyd or whoever it is. It's just the principle. Like, it eats them up. It really eats them up simply because the reality is Floyd beat them when they fought. And this is why even when Pacquiao was fighting Ugas and it was, if he beats Ugas, he's definitely greater than Floyd. You can't just, I'm like, why every time Pacquiao do anything, y'all got to connect whatever he does to Floyd? It's you guys that's doing it. It's not Floyd doing it. It's you guys. You guys add all the time. And then, you know, people try to ask slick questions. The reporters try to ask questions to say things to insinuate certain things. Floyd is sharp enough to understand where they're going. And then he'll cut them right off and jump right on that. And you hit them anytime, well, that was my next question. Because you know where they're going and what they're trying to do. So it doesn't make a difference. So, yeah, you did all this. You did all, it's just like a basketball team. You got the one guy who has, they can call him a human highlight reel. This guy, oh my God, dunk after dunk, but yet the team still lost. So who's really celebrating? Who has more to celebrate about? Yeah, man, your highlight reel was way better than mine, but we won. So I'm just saying, like, what does it matter? It means nothing. You have people right now saying that there's basketball players that's better than Michael Jordan, yet they can't lead their team to shit. They have no rings or nothing, but they can just dunk and do moves that Jordan was doing in the 90s, and people act like this is some new shit. But at the end of the day, it's just like, hey, whatever. I don't really care about none of that shit, man. They can call Amanda Serrano whatever they want. I don't have any problem with her as a fighter. But like I said, she wouldn't beat Shields in a fight. And pretty much you already know, like I said, that was a fight that materialized. It would be, oh, but Shields is too big. Okay, you know what they can't say? Oh, pick on somebody your own size because Shields is going all the way to heavyweight. Yeah, the same way how y'all tried to brag about Hannah Gabriel's, oh, well, she was a heavyweight. Yeah, exactly. Okay, and guess what? Now so is Shields going up there. So should Shields win the fight? That's another accomplishment. Should she become undisputed at heavyweight? That's another accomplishment. And then they're going to be looking even more stupid. And the bottom line is this, right? The smaller you come up and then going up and going down and winning titles again, it's like, just like with Canelo. I know Canelo's a good fighter, but nobody else other than him and Lomachenko was given that fucking Fran Cheat championship. So other fighters don't have that privilege of going up and down in weight. Win a title, vacate the title, come back and win that title again. So yeah, all these accomplishments didn't come from you going through everybody. It came from you being able to pick and choose. And that's a fact. So yeah, other people didn't have those opportunities. That's all. So how do we help make a fighter stand out? Well, we give him an opportunity that other fighters don't have. And then he can capitalize where, yeah, you're a 3-4 time champion here. This guy's been fighting everybody, been brushed off, pushed to the side, froze out, all this kind of shit. So it doesn't mean anything. People can call themselves what they want to call them. Shields and Serrano going back and forth means nothing. Sometimes people start smelling themselves. You calling yourself something is like, like I made the comparison on my last video. I've never seen anybody. Okay, my channel name came from me. I've never seen anybody label their channel the way I did. So right now, same thing. You see Aries Zodiac. That's my channel. I don't see nobody else using their star sign or any of that shit or their name or how. I don't see anybody. So now somebody come out with Aries Zodiac 2.0 or somebody come out with Taurus Zodiac, Gemini Zodiac. Come on, y'all know who the fuck the originator is. So if you think I care that these motherfuckers are taking my shit and running with it, trying to make it like it's their own, nah, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. You have content creators that feel the need to before and after every video tell everybody they're the best channel out there. They're hands down. It's not even close. I'm the best. I'm the greatest at what? At what? Meat riding other boxers and getting in your feelings when you do like, about what? I mean, people gonna say what they're gonna say, but when you feel the need to have to constantly tell everybody what you think about yourself, yeah, you're trying to compensate for something. Otherwise, you don't have to tell yourself shit. People will say it for you. You understand what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Who cares? That's mediocre shit. Now, on to Jake Paul. Let me say this with all honesty and sincerity, as I always do. Jake Paul is a shit fighter. Mike Perry is a shit fighter. Mike Perry doing MMA, Mike Perry doing bare knuckle brawling. Okay, that's worked for him. Mike Perry as a boxer, he's a shit fighter. Jake Paul is fighting a guy. Now, Jake Paul has punching power, and that's pretty much it. He has a little bit of quickness at certain times, depending on the range that he's at. He still doesn't know how to find range. He doesn't know how to set traps really properly. Unless you make a completely amateuristic mistake, he'll catch you. He can catch you slipping, but for what he is, this is how I see Jake Paul. Let him and his misfits have their own sanctioning belts and let them have their own shit. Because you beating Anderson Silva. You supposedly fighting a 57-year-old Mike Tyson. You beating Mike Perry, former MMA guys that were never boxers. None of these fucking people, including Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson hasn't fought in how long, and look at his age, and none of that validates you to skip the fucking line and jump over and fight for titles, to find yourself in a top row spot. Just like fucking Francis Ngannou did. Like I said, nothing personal against Francis Ngannou, but fuck him for all of that. The fact that money was involved, greed was involved, that's all it is. Money, money, money. So even the smart promoters like Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren and them, these guys are all guilty of the same shit. Why? They think everything is just money, money. If it generates money, it can't be bad for boxing. Bullshit. Boxing has become a fucking joke a long time ago. I told you guys. And what Turkey is doing, okay, it's good and all that. But you know what, man? It still is just boxing overall. And just everything is just so watered down. Everything. TV shows, movies, people, everything is just so watered down that people don't understand. Once you lose the essence of something, once you lose what made something special, you can't duplicate that. And it's difficult to get it back because different minds, different ideas is why that original thing is faded away and pushed aside. That's small talk. We got to do this now. This is why people don't understand the difference between Jake Paul and Canelo. Jake Paul and Usyk, or Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, or Terrence Crawford. They don't know the difference. They think Jake Paul can fight any of them and win. So, no, Jake Paul's a shit fighter. Let's just be honest. First of all, Mike Perry's nothing but a human punching bag. He walks in with his hands here. This is his fucking stance, and this is this MMA shit. I think they think this is intimidated or something. You know, all this shit, and Jake Paul is fighting a motherfucker like that on the back foot. Yet you're a power puncher, and it took him all night to finally stop him. And then I'm watching Jake Paul. He's getting tired. All this excessive moving. He doesn't know how to pivot. He doesn't know how to give lateral movement. He doesn't know how to punch off of awkward angles. Okay, basically, you know, boxing is pretty much when you do things in that robotic system. It's easier to counter. It's all about if you're fast enough to get the shot there, if your reflexes enough to slip, move, and all that. You don't see him parry shots, counter, slip, come back, you know, pull counters. You don't see Jake Paul do none of that shit. Jake Paul is nothing but a glorified novice, and you see him running around the ring, moving. He'll throw his jab, throw his 1-2, throw his overhand right, and it's all like, you know, desperation a lot of times. His ring IQ is not what people try to make him think. And this guy, Humberto Mendoza, I read a fucking article where he tweeted that he's open to a Jake Paul cruiserweight title match. And I told you guys, this bullshit, the boxing has become a fucking joke, man. This is, you know, you can go in any era of time, and I don't care if it's from Jack Johnson to Floyd Patterson to Archie Moore to Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston and Frazier and Tyson and Holyfield and Bowe and Holmes, and I don't care, all the way up to Mao, to Mayweather, to Ray Leonard, to Hatton. I don't care. All the changes in boxing due to the different eras. Boxing was able to maintain having real boxers, okay? Real fighters. Now it's a circus. It's all about money. They don't give a fuck what you do for a living. If you generate interest and money, they'll put you in the ring. They don't care. And I'm just watching this motherfucker run around the ring. And I'm like, why are you running from Mike Perry? He's there to be hit. The dude is just a punching bag. See, here's one of the problems with MMA guys. MMA guys disrespect boxing so much that they think that they can use a striking coach to go into the ring and beat a boxer. Then they always cry that same bitchy ass fucking song, oh, fight me in MMA. There's no money in MMA. That's why. That's why y'all have to jump ship and come to boxing, because that's the only way you're going to make the type of money that you want. Now, I don't know if he was joking or not, but Conor McGregor tweeted that Mike Perry's fired after he lost to Jake Paul, but Mike Perry has no defense. He has no footwork, no common sense, first of all. He doesn't even know how to slip a punch. He just walks straight in with his hands open. And I'm watching Jake Paul, who claims to be the hardest puncher and talk about how hard he punches. I'm watching him fight a guy like that on the back foot. A guy that's asking me. His defense, you know how you have the Philly shell, right? They have the shoulder roll. The name of Mike Perry's defense is please knock me the fuck out. That's the name of his defense. He walks in, literally. If you've never seen him fight, this the shit he does. This is where his hands are. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? And this dude's on the back foot. Yet they try to give Jake Paul so much praise and try to put him in a position. Oh, look at what he's done, you know, with Amanda Serrano. Look at what he's done with the female division. Okay, so let him do a behind the scenes role. But let him keep his misfit shit. And if he's going to fight for any title, cruiserweight, light heavyweight, whatever, let him work his fucking way up just like everybody else. No, boxing with this unloyal shit, you want to just skip the line and put a motherfucker in there because guess what? You want to make a statement. Boxing is back and we've made big money and this is what real boxing... No, this is not what real boxing is. You know why James Toney was able to go to the UFC and was stuck in there with Randy Couture? This is like being in a fucking Shark Tank, bro. And you have a plastic spatula as your weapon. This is pretty much what it was like. Dana White wanted to make a fucking statement and make an example out of Randy Couture. And that's why they love to say, we took one of boxing's best and he dismantled him. James Toney at that point in time, first of all, was no longer one of boxing's best. He was on a serious decline. He had some, what was it, IBU or IB or some belt he had that he was supposed to defend, whatever. I don't even know what happened after that. And he made a fool out of himself, and he never really took MMA serious at all. He went in there talking about he wanted to defend the sport of boxing. How? You're not boxing. You're in an MMA cage. So how are you defending the sport of boxing? You defend the sport of boxing in a boxing ring. And if you were going to go in there and fight Randy Couture, you should have took the shit more serious and learned what you needed to learn. It took Randy Couture years to get where he was. So you thought you were just going to come in there and be on top of your game. Doing what? No balance, no nothing. He was a big fat nothing. He was a big doughboy at that time. Randy Couture simply just reached down, just like he was about to pick something off the floor, grabbed his leg, and this motherfucker felt like a sack of bricks. You understand what I'm saying? That's not what Shields is doing. That's not what Savannah Marshall's doing. They take this shit serious and they've become actual MMA fighters. See, so these MMA guys are arrogant and they got these egos. They notice anytime an MMA guy fights, they'll come and support a guy even if they don't like him, just because he's an MMA fighter. So yeah, they'll show up and they all sit in the same group, the same little area. That's what they do. Now, with all that being said, let's just be real. If Mike Perry had won this fight, he'd be talking about how he beat Jake Paul. He's one of the biggest boxing stars. Do you understand? They don't separate them. And you know the fans don't either. We know that DAZN's the ones that, you know, this the platform they fought on. And what are they advertising? And what posters do they have up on the screen and all that, right? AJ versus Daniel Dubois. So they're promoting their next event. So these people sitting here seeing Jake Paul with a pair of boxing gloves on. They see Anthony Joshua with a pair of boxing gloves on. Once again, these casuals don't know the fucking difference. It's just boxing to them. But we don't really watch them. We like Jake Paul because we follow him on social media and on his podcast and all. Jake Paul is a shit fucking fighter. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat this shit for nobody. He's not a legit boxer, okay? He's a fucking novice, baby step taking motherfucker with an ego. And, you know, like example, his brother Logan being a part of the WWE. Well, he got Terrence Crawford. I'm pretty sure he had something to do with that. Had him come there and throw this little fake punch to the chest and drop somebody in wrestling. And, you know, same shit we didn't see happen before. Terrence Crawford is 150 fucking pages. Like they asked him about wrestling. He goes, man, I'm small, man. I'm exactly my point. So for Terrence Crawford, who was so quiet for so much of his career, now he comes out, and I'm not faulting him for what he did. And, you know, he's at the end of his career. But this is what I'm saying. When you have to go outside of the sport that you're known for, just to get more recognition and do something like that. That's what I'm saying about boxing. That's exactly the point what I'm saying about boxing and where people stand with this shit. We know that you know the idea is to try to get more eyes on you, hoping that those eyes follow you over to what, you know, your sport is. We understand all of that. But the reality is, when you take a guy like Jake Paul, okay, and you put him in a position where he's fighting for a title. Now, I could already see the excuses, yeah, but see, the cruiserweights don't have nobody really. They got this guy Opetaya, and why the fuck would Jake Paul be in a fight with him? Why? And this is the era of the excuses makers. Well, you got to understand, Jake Paul, you got to give him credit, got to give him shit. Bottom line, it's trash. Boxing's a fucking joke. It is. Bottom line, it's a joke. It's a joke. And because of his involvement to help the sport, the women's sport, okay, that's all good. But at the same time, once again, he need to have to work his fucking way up. What is he, the Triple H and Stephanie McMahon of fucking boxing now? Where he's some power couple now? All of a sudden now his involvement that warrants him to be skipped. No, like I said, as a fucking heavyweight, right? He has far more fights than Francis Ngannou, but I bet you he won't fight Francis Ngannou. No, like I said before, Francis Ngannou's too young. See, he needs somebody that's like to make him feel safe because they're way past their prime. Otherwise, if you still have some fight, no, he's not willing to do that. He's just not. And for anybody that goes to say some stupid shit like, yeah, but look how big Francis Ngannou is. Well, look how big Logan Paul is to Floyd. Well, Floyd got in there with that motherfucker, didn't he? Yeah. So I don't want to hear that shit. And Jake is better than Logan, right? Okay, so if you can fight at heavyweight, then motherfucker, it's heavyweight. Why don't you fight fucking Francis Ngannou then? My point. This motherfucker lost to Tommy Fury, and Tommy Fury ain't shit. Yet, we want to try to make him to be something he's not. And this is what I'm saying. Let him do all that goofball shit over there at the Misfits. And if he wants to continue to contribute and help the women's division, fine. If he wants to fight for real, fine. Let that motherfucker earn his way up. Like everybody else. He has one thing that Francis Ngannou doesn't have. He's a lot younger. He has more time on his side than Ngannou does. So we know Ngannou, like I told you, this motherfucker not going to start over. He probably won't box again. Do you understand what I'm saying? For what? I can do this. You see something I know I can. No, stop. See? Y'all put him in there with Fury. And this is why AJ had to do what he had to do to him. Send him back to UFC. Send him back PFL, whatever. Let him stay over there. That shit is like annoying to watch a sport and watch other fighters grind. Like example, a guy like Frank Sanchez who loses to another actual boxer. What do stupid ass boxing fans do? First thing y'all do, y'all want to write Frank Sanchez off. Oh, he was overrated. He's a bum. He's trash. Blah, blah, blah. Wait, Frank Sanchez lost to another fighter. All right? He ain't losing no Jake Paul type motherfucker. He ain't losing no, he didn't lose. No. And y'all write him off. But then you applaud the notion of a Francis Ngannou or Jake Paul skipping the line to get shots at people for what? What did they either one of them do? Simply nothing but popularity. So even way back when Wilder wanted to fight him, I'm like, why? What's this interest all of a sudden? Okay, but this crossover stuff has gotten to the point where we've lost our way with identifying real fighters, and this is all you see right now. This is all you see right now. So no, I'm not gonna sit here and do what everybody else do with this whole, you gotta give Jake Paul credit for no. Jake Paul beat the people that he beat because they're that much worse than he is. That's all. Jake Paul is not a real deal fighter. He or no other fighter should be able to come from the UFC or no other discipline, no other type of fighting combat sport background and having put the work in, and just because of popularity's sake, you throw them in the main event spot or you throw them in a high profile fight to skip the line over somebody else when they haven't earned that shit. And basically, there's a lot of people that we don't even know that would fuck Jake Paul up. So that's the whole thing. Give him that protection. Why would you be down to put him in a fucking cruiserweight fight? I tell you what, since, and I think this is fair. Okay? I think this is fair. And it would be an insult to Wilder with the exception of if the money is big. Since Jake Paul wants to fight at heavyweight, no, they have this bullshit division called Bridgerweight. How about you want to prove yourself, fight Deontay Wilder then? How about that? Wilder's on the fucking decline. And even with Wilder being on the decline, Wilder would knock Jake Paul the fuck out. This is why I'm bringing that up, because he don't want to fight Wilder. Why? Wilder's still too young. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. He doesn't want to prove himself. He wants to talk to people and tell them how good he is by beating these lackluster non-fucking boxers and shit, and then somehow beating Mike Perry has this guy, Mendoza, talking about he's open to a fucking title fight at cruiserweight for Jake Paul. What the fuck? But I'm not shocked, y'all. I'm not shocked. And all you fucking so-called boxing, Okay, you go right ahead and beat the tambourine, because all y'all doing is making asses out yourselves, especially when y'all don't even get these kind of shots and y'all putting the work in. Here you are busting your ass in the gym. Here you are doing all of these things, right? You hear Terrence Crawford say things like he busts his ass to get to the position he's in, right? But bottom line, I'm at a point I can fight whoever I want. So I guess Jake Paul, I guess he's put in as much work as Crawford too. So he could do the same thing, I guess. I guess he's in the same boat then. What's the difference with Crawford saying it and the difference with Jake Paul's actions showing that, hey man, I deserve a shot. What's the difference? One guy who basically has been boxing as a kid, and another guy who comes into this shit, and because of a fucking podcast and anything outside of boxing that he already had popularity from, he learned to capitalize. Like I said, I'm not against what he does over there with the Misfits and all that shit. And if he wants to be an actual real deal fighter, then he got to fight real fucking fighters. It's as simple as that. I mean, damn, he never even got back to Kenzie Morrison. He never even fought him. No, I don't want to fight. You lost to Tommy Fury. How come Tommy Fury don't have... Look, at the end of the day, y'all, like I said, this misfit shit is that's what they do. And need to keep their asses over there. You know. So basically, fighting non-boxers and some popularity can get you a fight with the best fighters in the world. Make that shit make sense. So since everything is about the almighty dollar, yeah, you can kiss boxing goodbye. Boxing as we knew it, like I told you guys a long time ago, boxing has become a joke. It's become a joke. And if anybody thought that I was going to sit here and try to, nitpick and fucking dance on eggshells, you guys don't know me. If you know me, you know I don't do that shit. Yeah. No, there's no way Jake Paul deserves a shot for no fucking title in any division. And like I said, so go to Bridgerweight. Since you fight that fucking heavyweight, right? Go to Bridgerweight. Deontay comes in 213, 214 nowadays. You can handle that. So go fight Deontay Wilder then. A guy that's and listen, Deontay basically doesn't know what he wants to do. He hasn't said anything on, personal life shit and all that stuff, whatever. What I'm saying, fight him. Wilder out of his own mouth says either make it or break it, right? Last dance, last chance is what he said, right? Against Zhang. So fight, at least fight Deontay. Once again, like I'm saying, no, he's not going to do that. And as far as him fighting as a cruiserweight, listen, it's as simple as this. The cruiserweight doesn't have any big names. And I'm telling you right now, if he was to step in there and fight as a cruiserweight, he'd probably want to have a warm-up or two, and I'm guaranteeing you they will give him the worst two motherfuckers in the division. The worst. Okay? Whoever they may be. The worst two fucking fighters at cruiserweight. And they try to make him this big motherfucking star, like try to, and what happens is whoever the top dog is in cruiserweight, guess what's going to happen? Yeah, y'all already know. Yet, you have people that are actual real deal boxers, but they don't have the star power, so they skip right over them. And that's okay with y'all? Nah. Jake Paul's a fucking joke, man. Jake Paul's a fucking joke. Let's just be real. I can't fault him for opportunity because the people with going for opportunity, because the people with inboxing are nothing but a bunch of opportunists as well. And this is what I'm saying. They want to do what's best for boxing, but at the same time, they do a disservice to boxing and to the boxing fans because here's a fucking guy who's not a fucking real deal fighter. This is why people think, man, you can just go to do whatever you want, man. Like, you don't go to college without going to high school. You don't go to high school without finishing grade school. It's simple. It's simple. Somehow in the world of boxing, somehow in the world of combat sports, the entertainment value is more value than the boxing itself. So yeah, these guys think that they can just go do whatever they want because of namesake, and y'all don't understand that. These people don't care nothing about boxing as a whole. It's a business, and they're generating money. So all of their contributions is because they want more out than what they're putting in, and they act like they have that right to just skip over everybody. And for you to back them up on that, it doesn't help the sport of boxing. I mean, I didn't even make this video to break the fight down like it was some good. No, it was a junk piece of shit fight. And bottom line, Mike Perry just getting punched all in his face. Don't know, he too stupid to cover up, to put his hands up. He doesn't know how to do anything. He sucks so bad. Jake Paul told him what he does wrong at the face-off, and he still went in there and did the same. He went in there and did the same exact shit that Jake Paul told him he was going to do. And the fucked up part about it is Jake Paul knew what he was going to do and still couldn't capitalize on it. And took him all fucking night to finally land the right shots. I'm like, yeah, you knocked him down 3 times and all that, man, but he kept coming and you still didn't know how to capitalize. And even though you dropped the guy, you're back on the back foot when he gets like Jake Paul is a trash fucking fighter, man. All the shit he's talking and trying to build himself up about how great he is and all this shit. Man, look, bottom line is, I don't respect when a fighter talks shit and they're not willing to back it up against the best fighters. Don't call yourself the best if you're not willing to fight the best. Don't even say you're one of the best when you're not trying to fight one of the best. Francis Ngannou isn't one of the best. You see what I'm saying? He's not. So you shouldn't have a problem fighting him. My whole thing. And you love to tell fighters that they're washed up, they're no more good, but then you go in the ring and fight them. You the one choose them, and then shit talking. But you're admitting you're admitted that they're not the shit, right? So at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure you talk shit behind Deontay Wilder's back. Oh man, he's getting beat. He's not the same. That's the shit. That's the excuse. Now he's not the same. Okay, so good. You shouldn't have a problem fighting him. He's only 213 pounds. Right? That's what he's gonna come in the ring weighing, right? So you should have a problem fighting Deontay. Nah, get these fucking people, man. My pop used to do construction work, right? And it took my pop 20-something plus years to get to the salary he was making when he was doing construction. And there was people coming in there, these foremen got their little nephews and sons and certain, neighbors and friends and shit, and they bring them in. I'm like, damn, these fucking young boys are coming in here starting with what it took my father and that crew of people 20 plus years to make. And once again, like I said, it's not about hating on them. It's like, okay, yeah, you want to pay them what you paying us? Fine, but you need to pay us about $8 more. The fuck is wrong with you? You bring these guys in here and they just gonna come in here making this? Yeah, it's a problem. But you fools are such fanboys that you sit there and applaud everything. So this dude can just waltz on in here, skip the line. Excuse me. Yep. And he gets the shots that you motherfuckers are not getting. Example, right? And this is crazy. And I said this, but I'm going to say it because I said it off camera. I'm going to say it again. The way boxing goes right now, I promise you, I would not be shocked if motherfucking one day Jake Paul winds up getting a shot at Canelo and Benavidez don't. I would not be shocked. No, he wouldn't fight Benavidez, but you understand what I'm saying? I would not be shocked. Because if them motherfuckers would just say, hey, Canelo, man, listen, a fight between you and Jake Paul, let's just say if that shit could generate $50 million. That motherfucker asked for $200 to fight Benavidez. He might end up fighting Jake Paul just to get that easy $50 million and to rub it in Benavidez's face. And y'all would sit right there applaud that shit like it's okay. I wouldn't be shocked. All right, the motherfucker already, I told y'all before, he's going to try to fight Berlanga. And then he wound up fighting John Ryder. No, wait, who did he fight? I think it was John Ryder. And then I said the same thing. I'm like, nah, man, because I'm listening to Eddie Hearn talk. Now, you listen to Eddie Hearn, Berlanga's ready. That's his fighter. So, yeah, he's going to try to get that lottery fight. He's still young. He's a prospect. He's not even a seasoned guy. He's a prospect. So he loses. Oh, well, learning experience. Hey, that's Canelo. Berlanga will be just fine. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah. But I did tell y'all, I guarantee you this, I'll bet you he'll fight Berlanga before he fight Morrell or before he fights Benavidez. And look who he's supposed to be fighting September 14th. And let's not forget, remember, Canelo was supposed to be stripped. He had until March, right? To make up his mind if he's going to fight Benavidez. What happened? Nothing. And he ends up fighting against Jaime Munguia. Now all of a sudden, here comes they're saying he has until September, but they just announced that September 14th is the date that they're gunning for him versus Berlanga, right? Has he been stripped yet? Okay, so all this goofy shit that goes on in boxing, the world, boxing has become a joke on so many different levels, and this Jake Paul shit is just like the icing on the cake because at the end of the fucking day, at least, okay, it still doesn't make it right. Okay, but at least Francis Ngannou is coming from a combat sport. Okay? At least he's coming from a combat sport. Jake Paul is coming from a fucking fucking podcast desk. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Oh, but what about Floyd? I don't give a fuck who it was. But you know what? With Floyd, there was no title on the line. And this was just about spectacle, about the money, and it's like, well, what makes it? Listen, at the end of the day, we already knew what this was. Floyd respected boxing enough to let the titles go. Here I am fighting a guy named Conor McGregor for $300 million. You motherfuckers got belts and can't fight for fucking $30 million. You understand what I'm saying? This was a spectacle. I didn't give a fuck about that fight either. But what I'm saying is, bottom line, Conor McGregor didn't jump in there and he went in there and fought Floyd, but Floyd was no longer an active fighter. He came back out of retirement to fight Conor. Okay? Conor McGregor is not walking around jumping in the ring fighting other fighters based off, okay, he went in there with Floyd. You see, this is where you guys get it all twisted, get it all mixed up. The sport of boxing, just like everything else, greed, and boxing will never be what it once was. It's just going to twist and change and shape into whatever it is throughout time, but it's not going to ever be what it once was. It's just not. And this is what people fail to realize about it. So y'all can sit there and rah Jake Paul, hey, whatever. But stop bitching about the sport being what it is. Because his actions, what he's doing, how he's talking about, he's one of the best fighters and he's this and that and all that shit. And then look at who he's fighting and people sit here and eat this shit up. Oh, hey. Doesn't matter if y'all boo him when he comes into the ring. As long as he's getting the fight and you're coming out, that's all he cares about. And you want to know what? The more you hate him, the more you'll come out to watch him and want to see him lose. But guess what? You'll still come out and support him. So that's why I say let him do his misfit shit, man. Let him do that. Let him keep his little misfits bullshit. Let them do that. If he wants to fucking fight a world-class fighter, if he want a title shot, then let him fight world-class fighters. Let him work his way up. And they don't want to do that because they know that he'll get knocked the fuck out. Tommy Fury is one of the worst fighters out there. And he lost to him. No. So they're trying to save face. Let him do what he do. Let's maneuver him right. If he can stay on top. He wasn't supposed to beat Tommy Fury. Oh, no. He wasn't supposed to lose to Tommy Fury. He was supposed to beat him. So when he lost, it's like, what the fuck? But no, okay. Pow. Put him in there with whoever. Bounce right back. And what does he do? Go from fighting Tommy Fury to another MMA guy to just guys who generally aren't shit. And you know MMA guys think that they can just beat everybody. And you guys think that shit. I train both styles. So I know it's a difference and I understand it. I can do both. But I know how they think. This is what I'm saying. They think they can just beat everybody. And the thing is, the weakest part of all of them, their arsenal is the boxing. They're not boxers, they're strikers. They're more worried about getting taken down than they are getting kicked or punched. So everything with them is backing up. And when you look at it, it's like they go into a boxing ring and they've been told all this. We wearing 4-ounce gloves. These motherfuckers wearing 10-ounce, 8-ounce. So we hit. You think you hit harder. You think that but you don't. You don't. You don't. But anyways, You know, Jake Paul's talking shit about he'll definitely fight Mike Perry in the cage. No, he's not going to go in the cage and fight Mike Perry. He's going to go and fight somebody else that can't box either. He's going to beat them. And then before you know it, he's in the ring fighting for a world title. I mean, boxing always have vacant titles somewhere, right? So they can always find, you know how boxing is, they'll find a way to find the worst fighter and put them into a title shot. I mean, we had Trevor Bryant versus Bermane Stiverne, let's not forget. And the same thing, they'll find a crappiest fucking fighter, and what they'll probably do, they might put him in a situation where he's training for someone or whatever, and they might turn around and have Jake Paul already in fight shape, and they find somebody that's not in shape at all. Take the fight on 2 weeks' notice or some shit like that or whatever, get in there and get beaten and make him look like he's a world beater. I mean, I just don't respect the hustle of boxing anymore, man, because it's just like this. I credit Eddie Hearn for doing the job he does with Matchroom, but again, everything with him, same thing, money, 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 money. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing. If it generates money, fuck it, let's do it. You know? It's not going to hurt the sport. Shit going to happen anyway. I get it. But nobody stands up against this shit. Bob Arum, all of them, De La Hoya, all of them, when it comes to greed, all these motherfuckers in greed is just money. Certain things you can't do. It's just like, example, if your daughter told you, hey, look, there's 10 guys outside. They all say they're going to give me $1,000 a piece. I just got to give all of them a blowjob. You going to be like, yeah, go out there and you better go suck them dick. No. No. You don't even hear people say that anymore. All money isn't good money. Now all you hear is what? Hell yeah, man, go get that money. They don't care. They don't care. they don't care how you get it, as long as you get it. They do not care. Y'all think I'm joking? When I told y'all the other day, and I've been seeing this for a while now, I'm seeing women. You know how you get up in the morning and take your morning walk, your jog, they're just walking out in the street with thongs on. Literally, oh, I'm just going for a walk. So wait, you gonna put on a thong and go for a walk? People don't care no more. People are losing their damn minds. They just do whatever they want to do. There's no structure to anything. You guys are witnessing this. So my whole thing is, no, I'm not going to sit up here and do 25 videos ranting about what boxing is. No, I just tell you guys what's going on and what's happening. And you see why it's happening. It's simple, because it's being tolerated. Everything is all about money, 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 money. And my point, even about the females out here doing what they just want to do, is I've seen, yo, hey, come here. Yo, I'm saying, you looking good. Yo, listen, I'm saying, like, yo, if I bless you right, you'll jump in, we can go back to my place and, you know, like, well, how much you talking, though? I'm saying, like, what you want? And I'm like, wow, yeah, nothing shocking. This is what I'm telling you. Well, my husband, it got to be before, because my husband get home like 6, so it got to be, come on, get in. I'm saying, let's go do this now. And they jump in the car. I didn't see this shit, man. This is what I'm telling you. People will do anything for money now. Well, it's always been like this. It ain't just start, but it's just to a point now. People are just more open about it. Why you think they out there walking around with a thong on? Oh, I just want to be comfortable? No. Just what happens is what you're trying to make happen. Everything is money, 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 money. You probably sitting there with your husband eating a little steak, then he's smiling, not realizing what the fuck you did to even get this money to get that damn steak. I'm just saying. It's a bunch of fucking hoes out here all within this boxing industry, the music industry, everything. Everything is changing, y'all. Everything. That's why you heard me even make the comment in this video briefly and before, like when I said, look at what Shields is doing and what Savannah Marshall is doing. Y'all hate Shields so much and want to see her lose so bad, but she actually takes MMA serious. She's doing this. She ain't do no let me jump in it for the money. You know, win, lose, or draw. I made a big check. I'm out. Nope. She's doing this. And y'all don't respect that hustle, but you respect the motherfucker because they come from a different sport. And people say, he's the hardest puncher in the world. Well, until you've been punched in the face by everybody in the world, you don't know who the fuck the hardest puncher in the world. We don't even know who the best fighter in the world is. We just know who's in front of us, right? All this shit, we just say things like, you know, but bottom line, yeah. So yeah, I'm quoting people when you hear me say stuff like that. Yeah, these are the best fighters in the world, and you put him in there with this guy, whatever. But you know, you don't know that. You don't know that. But just saying, y'all. Yeah, Jake Paul's a shit fighter. Mike Perry's a shit fighter. It was a shit fight. Just because there was 3 knockdowns and this guy walking in, leading with his chin, begging to be hit, and Jake Paul on a fucking back foot, skipping around, running, not willing to commit, don't know how to get this guy out of here. He's promising a first round knockout, but then when he gets in there, he can't do it. Right? It took him like 8 or 9 rounds or whatever it was. It took him all fucking night to finally get rid of this dude. And it was just like, yeah. So, yeah. Once again, he's a shit fighter. Mike Perry's a shit fighter. And if this motherfucker want to earn his spot to fight for any fucking title and so-called pro boxing, then he need to work his way up just like everybody else. Until somebody step in and want to end this circus, I mean, I see what Sheik is doing and all that, but once again, it is what it is. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.